Human memory is inherently fragile. With each passing year, the neural pathways storing our personal histories degrade, blurring details and losing context. We now have the ability to computationally reconstruct those fading mental images. This is synthetic memory, a digitally reconstructed visual representation of a personal experience generated entirely by artificial intelligence algorithms. In clinical settings, this capability provides a method for recovering lost narratives and processing trauma. By translating fragmented recollections into text prompts, patients can iterate on the output to visualize their past. A Hurricane Katrina survivor utilized this technology to find closure. Reconstructing the visual context of the 2005 floods preserved an undocumented personal history. When isolated within these controlled therapeutic environments, generative AI serves as a bridge to our lost personal histories. A paradox emerges when these same memory-generating models scale unregulated across digital social platforms. Synthetic media has developed the visual fidelity required to bypass human cognitive detection. We are losing the ability to discern simulation from reality. This vulnerability enables the Mandel AI effect, the algorithmic induction and collective validation of entirely fabricated false memories. To harness synthetic memory without destroying epistemic trust, we must dissect both its 3D rendering pipelines and the psychometric metrics that track its impact. The boundary between memory preservation and industrialized deception is currently invisible, requiring us to map its exact architecture. The engineering behind these memories has shifted from passive 2D images to navigable 6 degrees of freedom spatial environments. This pipeline begins by feeding a single 2D generative image into the Marigold model. It estimates spatial dimensions to extract a depth map from a flat plane. The depth map is translated into a spatial point cloud, establishing the foundational 3D geometry. The core mechanism is 3D Gaussian splatting. The image is decomposed into ellipsoids, defined by size, color, and orientation. This optimization pipeline builds a spatial, explorable world out of abstract algorithmic parameters. During development, engineers encountered a primary constraint in virtual memory reconstruction: the failure of hyperrealism. Rendering sharp, photorealistic details, especially human faces, in VR headsets, triggers the uncanny valley, causing severe user disorientation. The engineering solution is intentional technical abstraction. By purposefully lowering the Gaussian density, developers remove the sharp, uncanny details that cause discomfort. Lower density causes spatial inaccuracies to blend together, resembling the stains of aged photographs. This calculated blurriness mimics the abstract, fluid phenomenology of natural human recall. In therapeutic memory design, computational imperfection is a strict requirement. That requirement is ignored in the unregulated digital social ecosystem. Commercial platforms prioritize viral engagement, which incentivizes maximum hyperrealism over therapeutic abstraction. The Java-Rihanna psychometric study was designed to quantify the cognitive fallout of this unregulated environment. Researchers evaluated 243 digital natives using a confirmatory factor analysis model to measure the stability of their recall. The model shows a direct mathematical correlation, an R-value of 0.578, between AI presence and reality distortion. Reality distortion is the erosion of a user's ability to distinguish empirical reality from synthetic simulation. This distortion is a structural consequence of current digital platform architectures. Individual distortion scales into a macro-level impact on shared, collective memory. The Mandel effect emerges as the ultimate latent variable in the model, correlating to reality distortion at 0.769. The average variance extracted metric of 0.768 demonstrates that a significant portion of what we recall is now vulnerable to algorithmic influence. Repetitious exposure to highly plausible synthetic media can overwrite pre-existing historical and cultural facts. Under the theory of distributed cognition, the algorithm functions as an active epistemic agent. Algorithms are now active participants in the fabrication of collective human truth. We see a conflict between the therapeutic use of abstracted memory and the commercial deployment of hyper-real simulation. The commercial trajectory fosters algorithmic temporality, where algorithms manipulate our chronological experience of the past. This temporality traps users in destructive nostalgia, an endless loop of manufactured pasts optimized for virality. This loop replaces the organic, evolving nature of human memory with a rigid, algorithmic, idealized state. This trajectory positions algorithmically optimized simulations as the primary lens through which we view our past. Yet the same computational tools possess the power to preserve our most fragile personal histories. This presents a design imperative for future memory technologists. Innovation in this field requires abandoning flawless photorealism in favor of constructive nostalgia. By utilizing intentional abstraction, we respect the fragility of human memory and maintain the line between reality and simulation. Intentionally flawed engineering ensures AI serves as a bridge to our true past, protecting it from industrialized distortion.